What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 98, and today, guys, it's the Europa League final against Arsenal. Yes, here we are, and it's a live commentary as well, so hello, this is live. Yeah, it's a live commentary, and it is, of course, the Europa League final against Arsenal here with Napoli. We're looking for our second trophy in just a few days. Of course, we just won the Serie A after destroying Juventus by 4-1, so we're now looking for another trophy. And yeah, hopefully we can get it. But anyway, guys, yes, welcome to another episode of Career Mode. I just want to say straight away before I start, we're nearing 100 episodes, which is crazy. And I just want to say straight away, thank you so much for all the support on this series. It really does mean a lot to me. Without you guys watching, this channel would not exist, and it really does mean a lot to me to know that you guys are still enjoying the series, and it's just very nice of you. So thanks for watching, and all the support is greatly appreciated, and thanks so much for. Thank you for everything, I guess. Makes it sound like I'm quitting, doesn't it? But yeah, at the end of the video, guys, I'm going to be asking you for a comment, and it's also going to be for a suggestion for episode 100. So yeah, don't worry about commenting right now. Come to the end of the episode, I'll ask for a suggestion for what you want to see for episode 100, and yeah, we'll set about getting a plan for that. But anyway, guys, yeah, it's the Europa League final against Arsenal. We're looking for our first European trophy with Napoli. Of course, we took over in January, and we're lovely to win this competition. We're in the Champions League next year, so that's kind of cool. But we're looking to get this Europa League final win over Arsenal. This is the third time we faced Arsenal in a final. We won the previous two, the Capital One Cup and the Europa League last year with Millwall. Now we're looking to win the Europa League final with Napoli against Arsenal. So we've got a bit of a rivalry going with Arsenal, really, haven't we? But yeah, hopefully we can win this. And the live commentaries, for those that are new, the live commentaries come about every single final. So when we reach a final of a competition, we do a live commentary. The reason we do that is because it kind of just sort of varies it up a little bit, because otherwise you're going to get the same sort of stale 10-minute video every single episode. So the finals kind of vary up. It gives you like a 30-minute video or however long, depending on how the game is. So yeah, that sort of varies up a little bit, and should be good fun. It's also kind of interactive as well, because these live commentaries are a Q&A, and I get the questions from Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at @DocLanders. I highly recommend it because you'll never miss a video there. You can follow me on Twitter and ask me the questions at DocLanders. All my social media stuff's in the description: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, Pinterest, and so on. And yeah, it kind of makes the series a bit interactive as well, because you guys can ask me some questions and feel like you're sort of helping out the series as well. So there you go. That's all I wanted to say. Oh, also before I forget, I've got a lot of things to talk about just before we get into the game. Also, a few of you have been asking why the games during the Napoli season why a lot of them have been simulated. I've explained it before, I'll explain it again. We're simulating games because we want to get through the season as quickly as possible, because quite a few of you aren't interested in Napoli when they are not a side that we have sort of built, if you know what I mean. With Napoli, we've got two players that we signed this year in Fabio and Gutierrez. One of those is a loan player from our old club, and quite frankly, a lot of you don't seem to be interested in sort of playing with a squad that isn't really ours. So I noticed that straight away. That's why we decided to simulate quite a lot of games. But don't worry, for those of you that aren't interested in simulation, next year we'll be going straight back to playing the games as regularly as possible. And I can't please everyone, unfortunately. There's a lot of you that do seem to like the fact we're simulating a lot of games, so there's also a lot of you that don't seem to like it and want us to play all the games. So I can't please everyone, but we'll try our best, and that's why a lot of the games have been simulated. But as I said, if you're not a fan of simulation, then don't worry, next year we'll be playing a lot more games with Napoli. But anyway, yeah, let's get straight down to the questions, and the first one comes from Jamie Creek, and he says, do you believe in any sort of God? No, I don't believe in any sort of God. I'm agnostic. Not an atheist, but I'm agnostic. So I'm open to the concept. I'm open to the concept of all kind of forms of God and all kind of forms of the afterlife, reincarnation, and so on. That's a penalty, ref. Ref, you just got taken out. Oh, come on, man. He was surely going to pull the trigger there. So yeah, I'm open to all the concepts. If you're watching this video and you believe in reincarnation, I'm open to that concept. If you're watching this video and you believe in heaven and hell, I'm open to that concept. If you're watching this video and you believe you're an atheist and you believe that when you die that's the end of existence as far as you know it, then I'm open to that concept. I don't have a religion, and oh, I should have kept running there. I didn't think he was going to get away though. Come on, Hamsik. Come on, Hamsik. Come on, Hamsik. Oh, come on, Jamali. Who's that on the left? It's Vargas. Cutting inside Ronaldo's shot. Oh god, I made a good start bursting into the box, but yeah, I'm open to all the concepts, although I don't follow religion myself, and I don't think I ever will. You know, when I was a kid, of course, I believed in God, like most kids did, really, but I've never sort of had a reason to believe in God. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've never had a reason to. Well, that's explanatory on its own, isn't it? I've never had a reason to, and that's why I don't believe in God. I don't think I ever will. Maybe one day if my life changes drastically through the course of just luck, for example. But I don't believe in God. But I'll certainly never rule out the possibility. You know, I'll never rule out the possibility of any kind of God being in existence, because quite frankly we don't know enough about the universe, and we never really will. Anyway, the next question comes from the unknown, and he says, does the education system work to its full capability? It depends on the country, is the brief answer to that. Sorry, I've got a mug of tea with me here because I'm feeling really unwell at the moment, guys. You probably know that already. You probably would have told over the past few episodes. So if you hear me taking lots of tea, then I do apologise. I need to clear my throat. Yeah, it depends on the country, really, whether the education system works to its full capability, and it depends on the students as well. It's one of those things which can't really sort of be answered unanimously for every single country and every single pupil. Everyone will have different opinions, and for me, at least, it doesn't work in England as good as it could, because, quite frankly, well, as far as I'm aware, things haven't really changed that much. Students are still basically seen as robots, really, that come into school in the morning, leave school in the afternoon, and during that time they're not supposed to express any kind of feeling whilst they're in class. They're just supposed to get on with it, and anything they may be feeling is irrelevant, really, and that's why it doesn't really oh my goodness, I've had a few good chances already. That's why it doesn't work for me, because unfortunately students and young children aren't robots, and they can't switch off their emotions, and therefore, for example, one thing that always sort of grinds my gears, if you will, to quote Peter Griffin, how do I explain this without sounding very ignorant? For example, if Cody Johnson, a 15-year-old kid, gets a bad grade because he gets a bad grade in English, say his target's a B and he gets a D, Cody Johnson is not sort of talked to about why the fact he may have been given a lower grade. He's just assumed by members of staff and parents as well, which I can't stand, parents that just criticise their kids for underperforming when it could be a whole different they could be performing for a whole number of different reasons other than the fact they're just struggling at the subject. Instead of a teacher saying, sitting down one-on-one with this student, you know, Cody Johnson, is saying, you know, in this term, you know, your exam finished as a D when your target is a B. Why is that? Or is there any problems that are affecting your learning? You know, for example, are you is your personal life sort of? I know they shouldn't, you know, dive into that. I know, of course, they'd have to be sort of. It's hard to explain. What I'm trying to say is that most teachers and most sort of most staff members will look at a student and they won't take into mind what they're feeling, and their feelings and their emotions and their personal lives can greatly affect how they perform in school. It did for me. I'm not going to talk about it because it's personal, but it did for me, and I'm sure it did for a lot of people, and probably for a lot of you guys watching this video. You probably understand exactly where I'm coming from here. A lot of kids struggle in school due to their personal lives, and because of that, 1-0. What a fantastic ball that was by Captain Fantastic. Yeah, a lot of kids may struggle with their education and their grades because of what's going on in their personal lives, and unfortunately teachers and members of staff and sometimes unfortunately parents never take that into consideration. They just see that their child and their student is underperforming in a subject, and they'll generalise it as they're either being lazy, they're not working hard enough, or they're just not very good at the subject, and sometimes it can be a completely different kettle of fish. And I know that wasn't really answering the question, but I just wanted to get out of there. But to answer your question on a brief sort of level, it all depends on the country and it all depends on the student. But no, I don't believe it does work to its full capability, no. Next question comes from Carlos Puyol 54G, and he says, Gnabry, Januzaj or Sterling? All three of them are fantastic talents, and they're all at the same club. I read this question before I came to do this commentary. They're all at the same club. I realised that earlier. Gnabry, Januzaj, did I say all at the same club or at the right club? They're all at the right club is what I mean to say. Gnabry is at the right club because Arsene Wenger is well known for getting his youngsters through and turning them into fantastic players and developing for the future for the first team. So Gnabry's at the right club because he's going to get developed in the way he needs to be. Gnabry's at the right club. Januzaj's at the right club because Manchester United are underperforming at the moment under Moyes. They need a distraction. They need a young sort of talent to come through, distract the fans a little bit and say, well, this season, maybe write it off, if you will. We've got this young talent coming through for the foreseeable future, and he's fantastic, really. Sort of distracts the fans a little bit. So Gnabry's at the right club. And Sterling's at the right club because Brendan Rodgers is transitioning Liverpool from their old guard, if you will. Players like Gerrard, and of course for retired Carragher, players like that. Obviously, players that have been in the club for many years. And now they've left. Well, on loan to Napoli at the moment, in Reina and so on and so forth. And he's transitioning them into a sort of a younger Liverpool for the future. You look at the players that have broke through this year. Jordan Henderson looks like a completely different player. Like Ramsey does for Arsenal, or did before his injury, and for Arsenal. Henderson looks like a completely different player, and Henderson and Sterling and young players like that are developing for Liverpool, and Brendan Rodgers is transitioning the side to making it his own. So they're all at the right club really for what they need to do, and they're all fantastic talents. As for your question, which we didn't even give me one, I presume you mean who do you think is better? I would go with Januzaj just because I think his technique is insane, but they're all fantastic talents. And oh, what a save, Raphael! Get out for a corner. What a save! They're all fantastic talents, and it's great to see all three of them getting regular game time for their clubs. Instead of just being sent out on loan to some random side in League One or whatever, they're all getting game time, and it's really good to see. The next question comes again from the unknown. He says, "How can people overcome fear?" I don't know if you can necessarily overcome something you're genuinely terrified of, like completely and fully, but you can certainly learn to control it, and it all depends on the person. Again, it's hard to answer those sort of questions, really. It all depends on the person. For example, me, I'm terrified of spiders. I always have and always will be, and I don't think I'll ever be able to overcome that fear. But I've learned to control it quite well. I can now not pick up spiders. I've always been terrified of spiders ever since a kid. I can't pick up spiders or anything, but I can trap them with glasses. I used to. It's completely true. If there was a spider in the room, like a house spider, for example, not like a tiny spider, but a house spider, I used to have to leave the room. That's embarrassing to admit, but it's true. I used to have to leave the room because I was that scared. And I used to leave the room, but now I can actually just sort of get a glass and place it over the spider, scream a little bit and sort of, drop it on top of the spider really, but I can sort of do that. I never like killing things, by the way, because I know quite a few people that hate spiders kill them. I never like killing anything, so that's why I would rather sort of struggle to, trap a spider in a glass than actually kill it. I would never kill an animal just because it scares me, but still, I don't, anyway, that sort of thing, how can you overcome fear? It all depends on the person. For me, I never sort of, I just looked at ways to deal with spiders, and I thought trapping them with a glass would be quite easy, so I did that, and it turned out to work. But again, I'm still terrified of them. I just think you can sort of learn to control your fear, if you know what I mean. Not necessarily completely overcome it. But again, it depends on the person. The next question comes from the life of Jack, and he says, your favourite up-and-coming young player in the BPL, and who would be the best replacement for Norwich City's manager? Again, I would say Januzaj just because I think his technique's wonderful, and every time I see him in the United side, I always feel excited to watch the game and see how he does. But there's so many young talents in the BPL. You think this year how many are emerging for their clubs? Gnabry, Januzaj, Sterling, Barkley, and so on and so forth. There's so many awesome young talents out there, and it is really awesome to see in the Premier League, and hopefully they all get nurtured for those clubs. As for the best replacement for Norwich manager, I don't want to see Chris Hughton get the sack. They won yesterday against Spurs, and I really like Chris Hughton, and a lot of people do think he's going to be the next manager to get the sack in the Premier League, but I really don't want him to, because I really do like him, and I feel sorry for the guy really, because I don't know, I just really like him, I guess. But if he is going to get sacked, which I do agree, there's a strong possibility he will, I would like to see Steve Clarke get called in, because I think Steve Clarke's a great manager. I would actually say Malky Mackay, preferably, but I'm not 100% sure on this, but I'm pretty sure Malky Mackay can't manage again this season, or at least not until the saga with Vincent Tan is officially over, because of course there's a legal battle going on there, so... So yeah, preferably sorry, preferably Malcolm Mackay. But if it's a legal issue why he can't manage again for the time being, then Steve Clarke. But again, I'd rather see Chris Hughton keep the job at Norwich because I really like him and I don't want to see him get the sack. The next question comes from Ryan Moon, and he says, "Are you enjoying your Napoli career mode?" Yes, quite a few of you guys don't seem to be, but unfortunately I can't please everyone. You know, they won the poll and there's nothing else I can do about that, to be honest. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's fun. It's really good fun at the moment. It's kind of cool. Again, I think people are reading into this too much. Like, people seem to be under the impression that once you leave to a team, you're automatically going to stay there forever. There's a big, strong, likely chance that after, you know, in January next season, we'll be leaving to another team. So I think people are just sort of for those of you that keep saying, oh well, this series has gone downhill and so on, I think you need to remember that, you know, for those of you that watched my last career mode, sorry, my FIFA 13 career mode, which lasted 278 episodes, I think it was, when we left Liverpool to join AC Milan, it didn't ruin the series, it made it better, because it opened up a new avenue for us to go to a different BPL club, which was Sunderland. That was the sort of team that sort of transformed the career mode into an amazing one. You need to sort of look on the bigger picture. You know, the series isn't over just because we've joined a new club in Napoli, and just because you don't enjoy foreign career modes doesn't mean we're going to stay here forever. So yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I think for those of you that don't seem to be, I think you should just give it time. You know, don't judge it after a few episodes. Give it time. The next question comes from actually, I just answered that guy's question. I'm going to do it again. Dylan Sheehan, and he says, "What do you think of Rooney eating 300 grand a month, and do you think it is ruining the game? 300 grand a week, I think you mean." Is it ruining the game? The game's been ruined for quite a long time. I don't care. Like, I really don't care. It always makes me laugh when these sort of these contracts arrive and people are like, yeah, well, why don't soldiers get given this kind of money? And, you know, I could spend the entire episode talking about why that sort of philosophy is so stupid. But I don't understand why people are so sort of hung up on the idea that it matters to them in some way, because it doesn't. Wayne Rooney's salary is not directly relative to how much you earn or what goes on in your life. It doesn't matter to you. And oh my goodness, Higuain, you're such a good finisher. How did you mess that up? I thought I put a perfect power and accuracy on that. Jesus. Yeah, so Rooney's contract, for me for example, Rooney's contract has no effect on how much I earn a year or what I do with my life at all. It affects me in no way whatsoever, and it affects no one whatsoever other than Manchester United representatives and possibly any players that might be coming to Manchester United. That's all it affects. All it affects is the wage structure at Manchester United. That's all it affects, no one else. So unless you're actually involved in Manchester United in some way, it doesn't really affect you at all. So yeah, that's about it really. I don't care, and like what I'll say is I do agree it's stupid money, of course it is, and the game's gone mad, it has, but it has been for quite a while now. But still, you know, if a player is worth that much money according to the club, then why shouldn't they pay that much money? You know, if they can afford him and they think he's worth that much money, then why shouldn't they pay that much money? I mean, yes, it is ridiculous, and yes, I do agree that there should have been a salary cap placed into the league many years ago, but there hasn't been, there never will be, and we've got to accept that. The next question comes from Ronnie, and he says, who do you think is going to win this year's PL? That's Premier League, of course. I got hated for saying that Chelsea would win the Premier League. People were saying, oh, City are going to win it with ease. That was when they were sort of in that phase when they were scoring like 5-6 goals at home every single game. And I said, I still think Chelsea will do it. I got so many people saying I was stupid. The same way when I said it'll either be Chelsea or City. And the same way Arsenal fans used to completely tear into me when they had such a great start to the season. And I said, I don't think they'll win the league. People kept accusing me of bias, but I said Chelsea, and I'm going to stick with Chelsea. I don't want to see them win the league, obviously, but I think it will be Chelsea. It will, of course, either be Chelsea or Man City. I still don't think Arsenal will win it, but I'm going to stick my neck out and say Chelsea. I don't want them to, but what's going to sort of swing in Mourinho's favour is that Chelsea are only in 2 competitions. Of course, City knocked them out of the FA Cup. They've been out in the League Cup since Sunderland knocked them out in the quarterfinals, I think it was. And they've got the Champions League, yes. But other than that, they've only got the Premier League. And whereas City are fighting for 4 trophies, yes, they're probably going to get knocked out of the Champions League. but they're still fighting for 4 trophies. That's going to be a bit of a strain for them mentally. You know, if they get knocked out of the Champions League, which they probably will to Barcelona now, that is going to sort of have an impact on their season mentally. You know, imagine if they lose the League Cup final on the weekend. Next weekend for you guys, or this weekend coming up for me. No, sorry, this weekend coming up for all of us. Imagine if they fail to win the League Cup. They are going to be screwed mentally. And the fact that Chelsea can't deal with that kind of heartbreak, the fact that Chelsea won't have to deal with any level of that heartbreak unless it's in the Champions League, that's going to swing in their favour, you know. So I think I think Chelsea will win the league, but it'll either be them or City, but we'll wait and see what happens. The next question comes from James Abbott, and he says, do you think Ozil's penalty miss in the Champions League versus Bayern has knocked his confidence for the rest of the season? I hope not, because I really like Ozil. I think he gets so much unjustified hate from the Arsenal fans in general, from people that say he's lazy and he's just overrated, not good enough. I think he gets so much hate and unjustified hate from Arsenal fans. Some Arsenal fans, I should say, not all of them. And it is the minority, not the majority, but I feel sorry for the guy, really. He's such a good player, he's such a talented player, and I feel sorry for him. The thing I'll say is, I think, you know, like 75% of the people watching the game saw Ozil walking up to the penalty, and even before that, when he just placed the ball on the spot and was walking backwards. I think 75% of us, myself included, knew he wasn't going to score, because he just didn't look right. And, oh, that's a good save. Insigne, yes, 2-0, game over, it's ours. He just didn't look like he was going to score it, and of course he didn't. Really poor penalty, and yeah, I think it is going to sort of hurt him a little bit for the rest of the season, because it'll always be in the back of his mind, you know, which is a shame, really. But hopefully he does hit the heights again for Arsenal, like he did at the start when he first arrived, because he's such a wonderful player, and he's transformed Arsenal mentally, and he's done a good job for them, regardless of what some people think. The next question comes from Jimmy, and he says, what do you think about the Euro 2016 draw? It was made yesterday morning, and I still haven't looked at it. I don't care. I do not care about international football at all, so that's my answer to that. I really don't care. All I know is England have got San Marino. That's all I know. And that's probably wrong. I probably read that wrong. I don't care about international football, so I couldn't care less. The next question, I care more about San Marino's draw than England's draw, probably. The next question comes from NMC Viana, and he says, music that you usually listen to, favourite bands, artists, etc. I don't have like a set music genre. I listen to anything, really. It all depends on what mood I'm in. Sometimes I can listen to grime, sometimes I can listen to classical, sometimes I can listen to indie, sometimes I can listen to hip-hop and rap. I can listen to anything, really. So I don't really have a music genre. My favourite band and artist, I don't know about my favourite band, but my favourite artist is Joshua Radin. Has been for many, many years. He's one of only 2 artists that I've ever seen perform live, and yeah, Joshua Radin's my favourite artist, and again, I don't know if I have a favourite band. If I do, I'm not sure who they are, but there you go. The next question comes from, oh, hang on a second. Wait, that's a dangerous cross. Okay, Raphael, there you go. Next question comes from, I'm going to actually leave that question out for another day, because that's a good one. It comes from Arib. I'm going to leave that question for another day, because that's a really good one. I don't have enough time to talk about it. Next question comes from Callum, and he says, do you feel Millwall fans are stereotyped, and have you ever been judged for being a Millwall fan? Yes and yes is the answer to that question. Millwall fans are stereotyped massively, and oh, damn it! Who was that at the far post? I think I should have got that ball away, because Ozil should not be winning those headers when we've got a defender on the post. That's annoying. That's really annoying. That is such a scrappy goal to concede. And again, Raphael, man, where are you diving to? Seriously. He's such... I'm definitely going to look at selling Raphael next year. I don't know what his potential is, but there was 2 players there, and not a single one could beat Ozil on the line. Come on now. Yeah, Callum says, do you feel Millwall fans are stereotyped, and have you ever been judged for being a Millwall fan? Yes and yes. We are stereotyped, yes, we are stereotyped as hooligans, you know, myself included. I've always been judged for being a Millwall fan. I get comments and tweets and messages from people, you know, calling me a hooligan for no other reason than the fact I'm a Millwall fan. And anyone that knows any kind of thing about me will know that I'm the complete opposite. I'm a very nice person, I know that for sure. And yet I'm always stereotyped as quite a bad person just because of the team I support, and I hate that, I really do. You know, and the club, you know, and our fans are stereotyped so much. And our club, what I hate about it as well, is our club never gets any recognition for the good work we do. We do such good work for our community, we really do. And you know, we never seem to get any sort of publicity for our efforts on, you know, trying to save Lewisham Hospital. We never get any sort of publicity for, you know, for example, like racism in our club is dealt with so well in the sense that we really do punish our offenders, and we make sure that they won't be re-offenders because we ban them from stadiums, of course. We take it very seriously. And we never get any recognition for how swiftly we act and how serious we take it. We never get recognition, we just get hate. You know, like Marvin Sordell is a great incident, really. A great incident to... Oh, wow, that sounds horrible. I didn't mean to say it like that. What I mean is it's a great incident to sort of be talked about when it comes down to showing how good our sort of efforts are. When Marvin Sordell was racially abused, our club acted so swiftly to ban the offenders, to seek them out in the crowds, to ban them, to severely punish them. We work so well with the police forces, and you know we do such a good job on making sure that these people don't get back into our ground and re-offend, really, and sort of become sort of give the club an even worse image. And we do such good work, but that never gets highlighted. The Daily Mail and fucking toxic newspapers like that, and I'm sorry for swearing, but I hate the Daily Mail so much. The Daily Mail and toxic media outlets like that say stuff like, you know, typical Millwall fans, thugs, hooligans, racially abusing Marvin Sordell and so on. And they never say, but these fans that were found to be racially abusing Marvin Sordell were banned by the club, severely punished. The club acted very quickly. No, that never that never happens. Oh, it's off the bar, and it's squeezed in, and it's game over. I thought I messed up there. And who is it? It's Vargas. This guy has had an amazing end of season. That never gets highlighted. You know, the Daily Mail will never say Millwall did a great job in working with the forces and the police, and making sure these fans, these terrible fans, will never get into the ground to offend and spout their racial abuse ever again. That never gets highlighted. All that gets highlighted is that what we've done in a bad way. You know, same with El Hadji Diouf. The Daily Mail couldn't wait to publish that story about El Hadji Diouf. You know, about 20 minutes after the game finished, they could not wait to get an article up on their website saying about how, you know, basically all of our fans were criminals, you know, and disgusting people that racially abuse other people. And it's, I don't know. We are stereotyped. I always get judged, and I hate it. I really do, but there's nothing I can do about it. Next question comes from... I can't pronounce this guy's name. I know who this guy is. He's Colombian, I think. He's either Colombian or Ecuadorian. And I'm pretty sure he's Colombian. And I can't pronounce his name. I've never been able to pronounce his name, so I've always said his initials, which are Y and R. But I'm going to try his name. I'm going to go with Yair... No, that's terrible. Yair Ryascos. Oh, God, this guy's going to hate me so much. Anyway, he says, what would you like to be or study in the future? I don't ever plan on going back to school or having any kind of further education done. So, I don't plan on studying anything again in the future. As for what I would like to be, if you mean... Oh, Chesney! Oh, I messed it up. Messed it up. As for what I would like to be in the future, I'm unemployed right now, as you guys know. Or should know. This game's over, so I'll make these subs. My sort of realistic dream job is... Oh, I don't want to take Hamsik off, because he's going to lift the trophy, isn't he? Keep Hamsik on the pitch. My realistic dream job is to... be a careers advisor. I've spent time with careers advisors. My latest one was a lovely woman. I'm sure she still is. Obviously, I don't see her now, but she was awesome. And I've always wanted to be a careers advisor. I remember I used to sign on. I used to sign on a few years ago before I got my first job, or my first real job, if you will. And when I first started signing on, the bloke in the job centre office, he said to me, you know, basically, what's your sort of line of work, and what would you like to do, basically? What a save, Raphael. What would you like to do? And what the fuck is that? I thought I was pressing X. I was pressing square. And he said, basically, what would you like to do? And I said to him, I said, I want to do your job. I said, I want to be a careers advisor. You know, I want to work to help to get people into work. That's my sort of dream, realistic job. Obviously, my dream job would be something completely different, but my realistic dream job, something I know I could do, would be a careers advisor and someone actually helping people get back to work. So that's what I'd like to be in the future, but I don't think it'll ever happen because, I don't know, man, like, to be a careers advisor, you have to be, first of all, of a certain age. You know, I'm 21, so I'm way too young, you know, because most people would be older than you, the vast majority, and therefore there's nothing more patronising than having a 21-year-old trying to help you get into a job, really, in like their first job. My experience is minimal. Oh, what a goal that would have been to wrap this season off. My experience is minimal, and there isn't really much demand for careers advisors right now because, quite frankly, the government are making cutbacks, and it's, I don't know, there's too many sort of negatives for it. I don't think I'll ever be able to be a careers advisor. It's a job I really want to do, but I don't think I'll ever be able to do it. It is my dream, realistic job, and hopefully one day, but unfortunately I don't think I'll ever be able to do that as a profession in the future. So it sucks, but there you go. And that should end the game. So I'm not going to answer the next question because I'm not going to have time, but that should be the game now. How long are we playing injury time for? Extra time. Or injury time, sorry, not extra time, injury time. I felt 4 minutes up there. I don't know why I didn't just look at it. Let's just wrap the game off. Do I have time for another question? Oh, it's all about the World Cup and Euro 2016 stuff. Oh, I can't answer any of these questions, I'm afraid. Oh, here's one. Next question comes from Mastro, and he says, if you were to leave Napoli next season, where would you like to go? PS, keep up the awesome content. Thank you. If I was to leave Napoli next season, which there's a strong possibility we will, I would love to return to Millwall. You know, I think that would be really fun to go back to Millwall, see what the AI's done, try and rebuild the squad if they're struggling. I would love to go back to Millwall, but I don't know if you can go back to former clubs on FIFA, on career mode. So I'd love to go back to Millwall, but that probably won't be a possibility. So probably to some kind of mid-table Premier League side, and get them into a Champions League position after about 2 years. With Sunderland in my FIFA 13 career mode, they were relegation threatened, and in 3 years we took them to the title. So I'd love to do something like that again, you know. Maybe not as unrealistic, maybe like a mid-table side with a lot of money, aka Southampton, in this career mode. Of course they've been taken over, and just spend and see how quickly we can get the title with world-class players. But I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. But definitely, if we are going to leave Napoli, I would say a return to the Premier League is the most likely avenue. But that's all the questions I'm going to get time for, guys. There's lots and lots to answer, but unfortunately I'm not going to get around to the rest of them, so I'll probably answer them in another live commentary, maybe for an episode of My Ultimate Team, because I do have another episode of that needs to be a live commentary very soon. So that's it, guys. We've won the Europa League final. It was what was the final score? 3-1 to a very decent Europa League final, really. Quite a lot of chances for my side, and not that many for Arsenal, but they took the one they had. And Hamsik, or Hamsik, I keep getting that wrong, lifts the trophy aloft, and we are the Europa League winners. So in our first season at Napoli, we overturned a 10-point deficit to win the Serie A. We came from 5th to 1st, and we also won the Europa League. So that is an awesome first half of the season at Napoli, and I'm very happy with our achievements here. So that's awesome. And yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video as well. We're going to end the season as well. We're just going to quickly end it. And I did ask, or I did mention earlier on, I think, or did I forget to mention? I can't remember. We are closing in on episode 100. We're getting very close to episode 100. So if you guys could leave a comment, look how scruffy that shot was. If you guys could leave a comment right now, and wow, it's actually quite balanced. Arsenal had 10 shots. I didn't think that was true. Okay, fair enough. If you guys could leave a comment and tell me what you would like to see for episode 100, please do so, because right now it is most likely going to be a 1 hour special, which is totally fine, but I'm not sure whether you guys would like to see something different. I'm not sure. It'll probably be an episode. It'll probably be a 1 hour special. It might be a live 1 hour special as well, because I think you guys kind of like the live part to this career mode a little bit as well. You guys seem to really like the sort of the live games we did against Millwall. So I might do the episode live. I don't know. I'm thinking about. I've got loads and loads of sort of suggestions in my mind for myself. But if you guys have any suggestions for what you'd like to see for episode 100, please leave them in the comments. You know, it doesn't matter whether you think it's far-fetched or stupid. I want to hear all your suggestions. You know, even if you just want to see a normal episode, you know, feel free to comment it, because I want to see as many of you guys leave me suggestions, and I'll look through them and see which one catches my fancy. But yeah, we won the Europa League. We got just under 5 million, and right, the one thing I need to do, because you guys pointed this out to me last year, is I have to put all the money in the is it transfer budget or wage budget? Is it transfer budget? You have to put all the someone told me that the way to carry your budget over next season is put it in the I think it's put it in the wage budget, and oh god, I'm gonna get this wrong. I think it's put in the wage budget actually. Yeah, put it in the wage budget. Yeah, okay. So that's what we're gonna do quickly here. Apparently, this is what you got to do. So for those of you that have been asking, apparently to get your money next season carried over and a better budget, you put all your money into the wage budget, and it carries over next year. It's either put it in the transfer budget or put it in the wage budget. So if I get this wrong, don't hate on me, okay? Because I think it's put it in the wage budget, but I'm not sure. So we're going to split the budget to all in the wages, no transfers left, and there you go. If I've got that completely wrong, please don't hate on me, because I'm not ultimately sure. But that, I think, is going to end the season off, actually. Oh, one thing I wanted to do as well, before we leave, is look at the Premier League table, because a few of you asked me to see that, so it's in other leagues, isn't it? So I think you guys want to see how Millwall are doing, so let's have a look, shall we? Denmark, England, 5th. Okay, they were close. They were... Oh, what? Are you serious? I just realised that's 18 games played. You can't see. What? That's ridiculous. Oh man, that sucks, man. I wanted to see where Millwall would have finished. All the other leagues have had their games finished. Why haven't England's? I don't know, maybe the Premier League has just gone on strike. You know, maybe all these teams have just said, you know what, screw it. Docs has left the Premier League. We don't want to manage anymore. We don't want to play. You know, we don't want to play anymore. They've gone on strike basically. That sucks, man. I want to see where Millwall would have finished without me. Sorry guys, I want to show you as well. I want to see myself, but I can't show you where Millwall would have finished without me because clearly they haven't. Oh. One thing as well before so many things I keep forgetting. One thing I wanted to do is see if we could trick the board. What did we ask for last time? 1 million. It worked. So because we won the league title. Last time we did this, it worked. Is it going to? Is it going to? Yes, it is. How about that? They're giving us 655 grand, even though we've already won the league. Perfect. Thank you, game, for being so terrible. Oh no, it wouldn't work the second time, would it? So let's just put that in the money in the wage budget. It's not a lot, but might get us an extra million or something next season. But I think that is going to end the season off, guys, because we're coming towards the end of May, and then performance review meeting scheduled, and yeah, that is, as far as I'm aware, going to end the season off. So there we go. The season's been ended. That's it, guys. That's all I could really do. I was going to show the squad report, but I thought it was kind of pointless, really, because you would have seen it at the end of the year anyway, and we were going to make so many changes next year. It's really kind of pointless. But that is the end of the season, guys. So manager award received. Manager of the season. Spending 6 months there, we win manager of the season. Perfect. So that is the end of the episode, guys. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the video, please leave a like. That's much appreciated. It really does help my channel out. Apologies if I couldn't get to your question. Don't take my opinions to heart either. Also, if you could leave a comment and tell me what you would like to see for episode 100, please do so. It takes like 5 seconds to comment, and I'd love to hear your suggestions for what you want to see. Maybe you don't want to see anything. Maybe you just want a normal video. So leave a comment and we'll see what happens. But thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. Please excuse me if I've sounded quite ill. I'm just recovering from illness. And yeah, I will see you for the next episode of Career Mode, which will be the start of a new season, 2017-2018, very soon. Oh, okay. Well, I'll see you very soon. There we go.